We're talking once again with Rabbi Leib Tropper in our ongoing series of Shoel Meishiv, dealing with halakhic issues.
Number 8.
Rabbi Leib, one of the things that during every yontif we're always focusing on, in addition to the halachas, has to do with the food that we eat. Whatever yontif it is, we always see that a central and very important part is the food which we consume. It adds to one's simchas yontif and enjoyment. But one would wonder, are there guidelines, aside from kashrus, that food has to be kosher, that we should be aware of in terms of what we're supposed to eat, how we're supposed to eat, when we're supposed to eat? Guidelines to food itself, which forms such a central part of everybody's existence, but particularly to us during the Yom Tovim. Maybe there should be, or maybe there are, I'm just wondering, aside from just the kashrus, what do we need to know about what we eat and how we eat it?
What a meaningful question. Thank you. The first thing I must make a disclaimer that this is not a shay like a Paris mentioned initially. This is not a shay of asur or mutter. It's not a question of asur or mutter. Everything that has a kosher and has a hechsher and is mutter to eat is mutter to eat. There's no question about that. However, there's another halacha, more generic halacha. It's called v'nishmartem ma'oid l'nafsho yisechem. Let's say somebody would commit suicide with the food that he ate that he's not allowed to eat. So you have a shayla if you're allowed to bury him in a kevi Yisrael. If somebody, God forbid, would commit suicide by eating a food that he was not allowed to eat, and he because of that food he got deathly ill.
Like somebody who's a diabetic, knows he's diabetic, and he goes and he takes 10 chocolate bars deliberately with the intention that it's going to have a lethal effect.
Lav Dafka will have that, but let's say something like that, something like that, assuming like that will do it 100% without a question, right? Somebody does that. So there's a azhara, is a warning in the Torah. V'nishmartem ma'oid l'nafsho yisechem. We should protect our bodies. Ma'oid. Be very careful with our bodies, our health. The Rambam writes, there was the Epicureans that kind of used to eat, vomit, regurgitate their food, and then start all over again. That's what Epicureans used to do. The Rambam writes, in Hilchos Deis, I think, or he said the Torah, I'm not sure which one, he says, Roiv ha'choloyim, most illnesses come boim me'achilas gasa u'me'achilas dvorim roim, or maybe it's still me'achilas dvorim roim and me'achilas gasa, eating bad things, unhealthy things, and eating more than you need to eat, or overeating. So the Rambam is giving us, as a physician and as a Talmudist, as a halachic leader, he's telling us that there are guidelines: not overeating and not eating things that are unhealthy for one. In this world of jujus and chocolate marshmallows and all kinds of Pringles on the chocolate marshmallows and of different colors and cotton candy and everything else that is a parnasa for the dentist and for the doctors and for days missing in yeshiva. You can't, all kind of stomach aches and krechzing afterwards. And stomach, I didn't eat too much, I ate too little. And sometimes it's even envy that people want. I wish I could have that. I want to have like every kind of taste Tom in the world. I just make a joke of this because this is really representative of American Jewry, or of some types of American Jewry, or some types of gluttonous habits that people have.
Not native only to the American Jewry.
People in the street. Yeah, people in the street. Fry people as well, not from people. We walk in the store and without being conscious of it, they'll say, they're waiting in line, cautiously for 15 minutes, and when they utter those words, I just just turn around, either crying or laughing. They'll say, "Can I have an everything bagel?" I say, "An everything bagel." And what does an everything bagel mean? What? It's almost like they probably daven and shema kolein and say, "God, give me an everything life. Give me." I was waiting to ask him, do you also ask that in davening? To say, Hashem, give me an everything bagel, give me an everything life, give me an everything family, give me an everything money, give me... what does that mean? Maybe they should ask for everything. I don't know. But it sounds to me a little gluttonous from a food perspective. Talk about the word everything. I'm not sure that you and I, parrots, could smile after hearing those words. You know, you're sort of wondering. I mean, we take it because we're not mavaza anybody. We don't. Ourselves, we're not tzaddikim ourselves in our own habits.
Just the concept of it, that it should have
That's
everything
right.
in it.
That's right.
Got it all right there.
That's right. Now, and it should be now. I want it now, and my now should be faster than your now, and that's it. The now that we need now is the now we need today is more now than ever before. I mean, people compete about how now is my Olam Hazeh. I think somebody walked out. I mentioned to you, somebody walked out once in Barnes and Noble. I saw it. He had a shirt on. It said, "Immediate gratification is not immediate enough." You know, so we imagine how those two things combined, the everything bag with the immediate gratification, are very unhealthy things for a person, wise and physically. To have just that kinds of eating and
have it all.
To make something out of eating in general is something to think about. To make something like they talk about the Chassidish Rebbe's that the shulchan of a yid could be mamash like a shulchan mizbeach, depending on how it's done. We're not talking about gluttonous behavior. Not talking about people who eat things that are totally unhealthy and just eat and eat. Many tzaddikim that eat, like the Rebbe's that I've seen, that eat, like, they take a little bite and they don't eat the rest. It was like a mizbeach. It was pushed like a mizbeach. But just the concept of everybody walking around and checking out the food institutions that are around his neighborhood, and so many of them. And I must tell you that I also go to restaurants and I also enjoy, but I don't think that, I hope I'm not gluttonous in my habits of eating. I hope so. I want to share with you what the Chazon Ish Zecher Tzadik V'Kodesh Levacha writes about this, and I wonder again if you have some kind of reason to think of how you understand the Chazon Ish. Please contact me. I would love to understand why the Chazon Ish says this and what he means when he says this. In Michtav Chof in Chelik Aleph of Igros Chazon Ish, he says, "Lizoher mi'oid," to be very, very cautious, mi'achilas tainik, from eating pleasure food. Ve'im, he says, and if you want, let me tell you, he says, ve'im b'tumas haguf, when it comes to impurities of the body, there's a concept of rishon l'tumah, a high level tumah, rishon l'tumah. V'yesh ova tumah, even that's the charge of tumah, and there's a bigger charge. V'yesh aviyah voice at tumah. Powerful. This is the powerful tumah. B'tumas hanefesh, in the impurity of the soul, shel milui hataiva, of satisfying, you must be full to the end that you can't eat anymore. And that tumah, b'achilas tainik misached, they join the rishon l'tumah, the ova tumah, and the aviyah voice tumah join together. He says, rishon l'tumah, the ova tumah, aviyah voice tumah, they all get together and they join. The experiences of rishon l'tumah, ova tumah, and aviyah voice tumah. That's what you're experiencing with achilas tainik. Now, I don't know why the Chazon Ish wrote this. I mean, I heard that Shoel has also very strong words about achilas tainug. Again, I cannot say there's a halach and shulchan aruch. I cannot say that I am in that madrega that I don't go sometimes to have an enjoyable meal. But these are the words of the Chazon Ish. I don't think the Chazon Ish was someone who looked to make it difficult for Yidden or for anyone. So this is what the Chazon Ish said. Baruch Ber Zecher Tzadik Levracha, as quoted by Shlomo Hyman in one of the Yeshurans, I think, the Yeshurans that's published, those volumes, the beautiful volumes of Divrei Torah, Shlomo, I forgot his last name, he publishes, puts out every year. Shlomo Gottesman puts out, it's a beautiful, beautiful sefer. He brings down Rabbi Baruch Ber, Shlomo Hyman quoted it, and I think they quoted it subsequently from Reuven Gazovsky. I'm not exactly sure. But here's what he says. Baruch Ber asked the question, why don't people really take care of their health? Because, the obvious response that we usually give, the reflex response, is because, people are just lazy, they're tired, they're too busy. Too busy, that word, it irks me. Since I started at Baruch Ber like 6-7 years ago, it irks me, it scratches my ears. I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that. Baruch Ber said the reason why people don't do it is because it's the same Yetzer Hara not to eat milchiks after fleishiks, the same Yetzer Hara as to do other things that are also to do. That's the same Yetzer Hara why people don't take care of their health. Because it's a mitzvah Immediately the Yetzer Hara comes and tells you, you're busy, come on, but it's a Meishiv Yetzer Hara like any other Aveira. Don't think that it's sanctified because I'm busy taking care of Yankel Pfefferkorn, or I'm busy going and doing something else, or I'm busy with this, I'm busy with that, with chesed, mitzvahs, writing, doing, coming, going, parnas, all these. The Yetzer Hara not to do what the Eibishter wants us to do. Whether it's tefillin, whether it's achila, whether it's in other things. So there's the Yetzer Hara also about eating the wrong things. So we're having a wonderful Simchas Yontif. Let's make it with the way the Eibishter wants it. Let's make it the Simcha, not that you want, but the Simcha the Eibishter should be happy that we're enjoying. Let's not overindulge. Let's not go and destroy what the Matana the Eibishter gave us as the body that he gave us to do Avodas Hashem. The Rambam talks very much about this eating for the sake of brius, not just for Shem Tainik, eating for the sake of health. And Reb Ruvain, in the Memorial of Reb Ruvain, he says, and that Rambam doesn't end there. That's not what Rambam means. This doesn't mean you should eat for the health, because you have to eat for health, so you can be able to do Avodas Hashem. That you can carry a sukkah when you have to build it. That you can go 4 times to pick up your matzah when you need your matzah. You should have the health, the strength, and what you need to do Avodas Hashem, not just to be healthy. There's a story my father told me. My father Zecher Tzadik Levracha mentioned to me that regarding my uncle who learned Baruch, but he heard from my uncle. And then I'll end with this story. Baruch Ber was once sick and he couldn't give shir for 3 days. And he didn't give shir. He was taking care of himself in his house. On the 4th day, a group of Talmidim, Chashuvim, came to him and said, Rebbe, we really want shir. We really want a shir. We're missing the Rebbe shir. Those days they didn't call him Meishiv, they used to call him Rebbe. The Rebbe zogt. So they asked Baruch Ber to come say shir. Maybe we could try to make it. He said, Hetzachayin. I need 1 more day for the Ma'oid. It says, I need 1 more day for the Ma'oid. Because he took that seriously. Like, that's what I mean. He took those things seriously. With the Eibush says, Veshmatem Ma'oid l'nafshe. Kosh could have said, Veshmatem l'nafshe seichem. Veshmatem Ma'oid means Ma'oid. We should have a wonderful gebench to Yontif. A really beautiful Yontif we should have. We should enjoy the food. We should watch out what we do with the food and how we do with the food and what kind of food. And we'll be Mekayim a mitzvah, the Ratzon of the Eibishter of the Nishmartem Ma'oid l'nafshei seichem. Thank you.
Amen. Rabbi, thank you very much for that food for thought and the thought for food.
Thank you very much, Paris.